everybody, it is me, Alexa, and today we're going to be talking about the new Tamil film SOORARAI POTTRU. Before we jump in, I will let you know this is a spoiler-free review, so if you are debating watching it still, or you've already seen it, feel free to keep on watching. I promise not to ruin it for any of y'all. So this film was initially supposed to come out, I believe over the summer. The release date's been postponed quite a few times. I couldn't find like what the original one was, but I remember reacting to the teaser way back at like the beginning of 2020 and being excited for it. And the trailer just came out like a week ago and I watched that and I really enjoyed it, and it made me even more excited for the film again because I already really liked the teaser and was looking forward to it. And then honestly, it kind of like went on the back burner because so many other things were coming out, and then this trailer came out and I was like, oh yeah, I watched that teaser and it was great. I wonder what's going on with this. And then I watched the whole movie and wow, it was so good. I mean, the movie wasn't perfect. You know, I do have a few things I'll say negative. I don't know what this is, but I think I've done it a few times. We're using the hands today. So I will be saying a variety of things, you know, giving a non-biased, honest opinion on it. But my overall thoughts is that this was a really, really great film. The movie was written and directed by SOORARAI, who is a woman, so represent woman filmmakers, because this was a really exceptional film. I didn't actually know it was directed by or written by a woman until after I watched it, and I was very excited to learn that because I'm a filmmaker, so whenever I see a woman being successful in filmmaking, it's always super exciting. So the overall story is actually based on real events. They definitely, I believe, took a lot of creative liberties with some of this, and they even stated that it's like taken from a few people's stories. A lot of the movie is taken from a book called Simplify a Deacon Odyssey, which is written by G.R. Gopinath. And G.R. Gopinath is the founder of Simply Deacon, and he is who like the movie is loosely based on. He's like the inspiration. It says that the film was partly inspired by the events of the life of Gopinath. So his life played a huge influence in the creation of this, but I mean, they even had a different name for our lead character. His name was Nadumaran Rajangam, or Mara, as we'll be referring to him. And that's who Surya played. They did change the name, so it's definitely not like a direct, this is exactly what happened. It's not meant to be 100% truthful, but I think that probably one of the main things they're going for is the feeling of triumph and like this challenge and this struggle that Gopinath had to face, and I believe probably others, because it was taken from a few different stories of like the struggle of making low-cost airlines a reality. And so I think that there's probably some mixture of a few things and also a few ideas added in for creative liberty, which fair. And I think though that they did a really great job with all of it. The story was written in a way that was extremely engaging. The characters were so well written. I especially really love the relationship of our hero and heroine. So of course, Surya played Mara and he did a great job. He made me cry 2.5 times with the help of others. His emotions and his performance of this character going through so much hardship and having so many struggles and obstacles beat him, just his continual perseverance is so fun to watch. It was a really good like feel-good movie. If like maybe you're feeling down or need something more hopeful in your life, I would definitely recommend this movie. And so maybe you need a little bit of hope and positivity in your life, and while this movie does have some sadness in it, you know, it has some really heart-wrenching, I cried 2.5 times, you know, but it also has such an amazing story of someone just persevering and doing such an amazing thing that in the end you're left feeling very hopeful, I felt. The name fits the movie perfectly. It translates to praise the brave, and that's what the film's about. It's about, like, of course it's about this person creating low-cost airlines, but it goes so much more than that. It's the classic story of someone being told they can't do something continually. Just, you can't do this for reasons X, Y, Z, and the other person saying you can't do this for A, B, C. Like, you know, they're going through the whole alphabet of reasons why you can't do it, and everyone is telling him that he can't, and he still just continues on, and he has those people who support him, and because of their belief and also his just bravery and willpower, he's able to accomplish something so incredible and amazing. And it's spectacular, and it's so much fun to watch. There's tons of movies that do something like this, but there's lesser that do it well, and this is one that does it, I think, exceptionally well. And then it wasn't just Surya who did a spectacular job, and I really hope I'm saying that right. I asked Sri how to pronounce his name because I was saying Surya, but he told me it was Surya, so I really hope that's right. If it's not, yell at Sri. Anyways. Also, of course, our heroine, played by Aparna Balamurali, did a really great job. Her character is extremely headstrong, independent, and I love how their relationship is back and forth, the two of them. The way that they talk to each other, they're both just so honest and like who they are, and the amount of respect that they have for each other is just so beautiful, and it creates such a nice relationship and back and forth that just I smiled many times because of them. And so I really, really enjoyed it, and I think that it's one that it's not a typical romance that you see in movies, but it was extremely well written and even more well executed by our two actors, who just had really great chemistry with each other, and the way that they played off each other was just really, really enjoyable to watch. We also have to quickly mention the villain of the film, played by Paresh Rawal, which he's actually a Bollywood actor I saw, and this was his Tamil debut whenever I was looking up the names of everyone. So that's pretty cool, but he did a really great job, you know. I disliked him a lot, so he played a good villain, you know, makes you dislike him, always a good thing. And also, of course, I have to briefly mention Urvashi, who plays Pechi Mara's mom. She was a huge part of 1.5 of my cryings, and I have to give her credit because she did a really great job in her role, as did everyone in this film, honestly. There was no weak link whenever it came to performance, and I think that partially had to do with a great cast of actors, but also a really strong and well-written script. The script was also co-written by Shalini Ushadevi, so they co-wrote it with the director Sudha. So I want to make sure everyone's getting the credit they deserve. Now, wow, the story and acting was so good. I do have a couple negatives we gotta say. Firstly, the pacing, especially in like the first half or 3/4 of it, was really fast. It kind of felt a little overwhelming, and I think that this feeling, it was definitely something that was made a bit worse by reading subtitles, but I always try and look at it even if I wasn't reading subtitles. It just, the story itself, the pacing of event was really fast in that opening, and I think that by the end of it, it kind of did pay off, because it had this like energy to it that built up and led to like the payoffs being sweeter. But it's still, when watching it, was like, could be just a little, it just felt very fast. And whether it's a good or bad thing is kind of up to personal preference. I would have preferred a little bit slower, and maybe just have the movie be like 10 minutes longer. That would have been my ideal, but also, you know, they got all the information that I need to know, and they still did it well. So I'm not like upset about it, but it's just something that I think needed to be stated, because it was just really fast there at the beginning. And it was fast for a long time. It wasn't just like a quick fastness to get information, which I've seen a few times and talked about. There was a long time where it was continual fast. And again, that's not the worst thing ever, because it did do a good job of getting out all the information that they needed to. Like, there isn't anything I think they could have cut to then like expand another scene. I don't think it needed that at all. But I just feel like maybe like an extra 10 minutes to slow down some of the conversations, or just slow down some of the moments that happened there at the beginning would have maybe added a bit of effect. But again, as I said, I do think that by the end, it worked itself out. It was just a lot to watch all at once while you were in that part of it. Now, my only other slight negative is I do have to mention the planes. So often they used visual effects very clearly for them, and it was extremely obvious. I don't think that this took away from the film, at least for me it didn't. It did make me have those moments where I was like, oh, that's fake. But that didn't take away from the emotions or the story at all. But as the airplanes are a huge part of the film, I needed to mention it. Now into some more positives. I really liked the music from this. I think all the songs fit their scenes really well, helped play off the characters, show them off. None of them felt out of place, which is something I've seen happen a few times in these more serious films, where they'll have like one song in the second half that just feels kind of thrown in and out of place, but this one had nothing like that. I think every single song was very purposeful and helped add to the emotions and did a really great job. And the background music was phenomenal all throughout. It was just, I mean, overall, everything about this movie I really liked. The core of this story and what would make or break it is how well written it was, and it was just extremely well written. And then on top of that, they had a really great cast to bring those words to life and portray them in ways that was so moving and emotional and powerful that it created a moving and emotional and powerful movie. And I think that's what they were going for, and I think that they absolutely nailed it. So my final overall thoughts is I really liked the movie. The second it ended, I was like, wow, I really liked that. That was like my first thought that I had about it. And then I started analyzing and breaking down why, so I could talk about it here. But I just genuinely, the whole time, I really enjoyed that movie. I think despite the fast pacing that it had at times and the not perfect visual effects with the planes, the story and acting just kind of pushed it to be still a really exceptionally well done and enjoyable movie to watch. So that is why on the official shark rating, super official, it will be getting the great white. Woo! Yeah, because I think that in these kind of movies, the most important thing is the emotions, and they absolutely nailed that in this film. I really, really liked watching it, and I want to watch it again. So, you know, that's just kind of, I feel, a good marker of what something that makes it like a high quality film. Whenever you finish it and you already are like, I kind of want to watch that again. Alrighty, though, I think that is all I have to say about the SOORARAI POTTRU movie. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Check out our Patreon, link in the description below, and I hope you all are staying safe out there and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!